So I'm going to go through some new stuff. We're going to go through some vocabulary. I'm going to show you how, and then we're going to practice with it. Yeah, not complicated. All right. I know it's homecoming. I know we look a little funny today, but that's okay. It's normal. I look like this every day, right? Y'all dressed up today. So okay. So a couple things. First things first. How many degrees are in a triangle? Somebody knows. 180, right? We know this. We know this from somewhere, right? When you were like a little kid, your grandmother told you. We know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, right? That is simply called the triangle. That is not writing. Let's go here. Triangle sum theorem. theorem. Okay? And what that says basically is all the angles of a triangle add to 180 degrees. Okay? And so it allows us to do problems where if maybe this is 60 and this is 100, not drawn to scale, right? Because it doesn't have to be. So if this is 60 and this is 100 and this is x, how would I solve for x? Thoughts? Anybody?
To 60 and subtract it from 180.
Genius, right? You would add these two, so 60 plus 100, 160, subtract that from 180, you would get 20, okay? Everybody okay with that? We comfortable with that? Okay, that's the triangle sum theorem, okay? The other new thing that we have today, and the reason I'm kind of going through that a little quick is because most of you already know that. We don't need to spend time on background on that. The new thing that we're going to learn today is the idea of an exterior angle, okay? So we're going to draw a triangle, and then we're going to extend one of the sides. And when I say extend one of the sides, we're going to take that side and we're going to make it longer, okay? And that's going to create what we call an exterior angle. So this is on the exterior, okay? And this angle out here, we're going to call this angle, we'll just call it x, just for fun, okay? That's the exterior angle, all right? Now, if on the inside of this triangle, let's say we had A, B, and C, right? Let me ask you, how much would C plus x be? How much is it if it's a straight line? It's 180, right? So are we okay that like C plus x would be 180? Everybody okay with that? All right, but we also know that all the parts of a triangle, so A plus B plus C would be equal to 180, okay? And then if we take away C from both sides, and we put minus C over here and minus C over here, what I want you to notice is that these two match here, which means these two parts match. Now I know that's a lot, so let me put it into a little more formal terms. Basically what we're saying is that A plus B has to be equal to x. This is called the exterior angle theorem. Okay? And it's that simple. Basically if they tell you that this is 60 here and this is 100, you have to ask yourself, what do you add to 60 to get to 100? So what angle goes up here? 40. That's simple. Okay? Not complicated, not super, stressful. All right? Now, we can make it that way. We can make it a little more challenging. We can add in some letters, right? Let's say, for example, out here I said this was 2x, right? And then let's say I said this was x here, and maybe this was 50, right? How would I set that up? Well, I use this formula. This is the formula we're going to use, and I substitute. So now A is x, B is 50, and then 2x, and I do some algebra. How do I solve that algebraically? What do I do? If x plus 50 is equal to 2x, how do I solve for x?
Divide by x on both sides?
No.
Or subtract x?
Subtract x on both sides, okay? Did y'all hear the first one she said divide? We're not multiplying by x here. We need to get this x over here. So really, technically, what we're doing in algebraic terms is combining like terms. So we're going to subtract x from both sides. We're going to get 50 equals just x, right? Because if you had two x's and you get rid of one of them, you only have one, okay? So 50 equals x. So that's another way to solve that. We okay with that? Let's look at a book example. So if we go to our textbook, this is on, just a sec, get my computer to act right. So this is on page 184 in your textbook if you want to follow along. Here we have the drawing, and we've got angles 1, 2, and 3. The exterior angle is 124. The exterior angle is 124. And so we know that the two vocabulary word here is remote interior angles. These two angles over here are called remote interior angles. So these right here are remote interior. Okay? And we know that angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to be equal to 124. Or the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 124. All right? And so then we also have this little tidbit right here. Right here. The measure of angle 2 is 3 times the measure of angle 1. Right? So angle 2 equals 3 times angle 1. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna substitute. We're gonna, instead of writing angle 2 here, we're gonna rewrite this all in terms of angle 1. And I don't know what angle 1 is. What do we call something when we don't know what it is? X. So I'm just gonna put this as x plus 3x equals 124. Yeah? And then we combine these, so 4x equals 124. And then that's where they do the math here. Okay? And again, that's on page 184 if you want to kind of follow along with what the book has. Okay? Now, what do I want you to do with that? At the bottom of page 184 is a practice problem for you. So if you look at the bottom of page 184, there's an A, B, and a C. All right? Work A, B, and C on the bottom of page 184. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks, sir. Appreciate you, Noah. Oh, Noah, we still got a minute left. We get more interaction. Here you go. I'm not trying to be professional. I just need to get a minute. So, you working? Yep. We got something to write with? We're on page 184, bottom of it. Noah, let me know when we get to about 9 minutes. Okay?
Yes. Oh no, it's switched upside down.
Do what?
Nothing.
How we doing, Michael? You good? Yeah, you can go ahead and go. You good, Vanessa? Yeah? Jesus, questions? Good. Scroll this down so we can see what we're working with. Anybody not sure how to start? Alright, so Kai, talk to me. What was our rule? What did we just learn? With the angles. What was the relationship? Do you remember? Aleda, do you remember? What was the rule about this outside angle versus the other angle? Close. Who remembers? What's the deal? So all of the ones inside the triangle equal 180. Angle 3 plus that one equals 180, right? But what's the rule with this outside angle and these two angles here? How are they related?
1 plus 2 equals 188.
Yeah, exactly. Those two angles have to add up to be the outside angle. Now, I'll be real honest. Part of the reason this one's going to throw you off a little is they spun it, right? We get really used to things, oh, it needs to be drawn this way because that's how he drew it in the example. Well, all they did is they took my drawing and they did it sideways. It doesn't change the math, okay? It's the same drawing. This angle here that was equal to these two angles is the same angle that's here that's equal to these two angles, okay? So, how do I do that? I'm going to substitute, right? And what was our formula? Remember the original formula I had up there for notes was A plus B equals X. And so in this particular case we have 10x plus 2 plus 11x minus 11 equals 138. Good morning, Diana. You were late, so you figured you'd just sit there? I like it. You started a trend. Ah, okay, you were embarrassed. It's okay, it's okay. How do I do this?
You get rid of the X?
Yeah, I wanna get rid of the x's. Really, I want to get rid of everything. My goal eventually is going to be x equals, right? What do I do, guys? How do I combine like terms here? What goes together? Yeah, the 10x. What's 10 plus 11?
21.
Are you sure? 21? Are we sure? Okay, 21x. And then what is 2 minus 11? Ooh, that's tricky. Huh? 9? So if you have $2 and you go to Jack and you spend $11, you have $9? Negative 9, right? Because the 11's bigger, so we have to keep that sign. So minus 9 equals 138. Yeah? How do we solve that? We got 2 steps. We got to do the opposite. What's the opposite? Add what?
9.
Add 9? Cool. So 21x equals 147. And I'm going to let y'all solve that. Long division if you have to, all right? Thanks, sir.